Namaste. You are listening to Manav Parichay, Introduction to Humanity. In the last episode, Firdous accepted the challenge of the union of souls with her new husband, Harishchandra. Today you will hear how her inner transformation prepares her for her new life. Harishchandra thinks Firdous is making sacrifices, but Firdous knows she is only embracing rational goodness. This is the story of the birth of new Firdous. In the afternoon, after the daughter falls asleep, Firdous remembers that dreadful incident of the triple talaq. The climax of fear, hiding behind a tree on that desolate rural road, Firdous felt that no angel would come now, and by nightfall, she would fall victim to the worst possible end. The birth of courage. In that deep despair, a miraculous courage was infused. It is better to start walking than to be killed here. Firdous realizes the old Firdous is dead behind that tree. And the new Firdous was born the moment she got a lift in the car, a Firdous who will view the world with a new perspective. You will hear logic versus burqa. Why did the new Firdous renounce the burqa? Does having a veil or not having one make a woman safe? Pride versus taste. How, upon seeing the pride hidden in vegetarianism, Firdous made the illogical decision to renounce non-vegetarian food. And finally, when Judge Harishchandra himself goes into the kitchen and makes food mixed with love, Firdous realizes that pure vegetarian food can be so delicious. Overeating, laughter, and moments of joy, this is a life Firdous had never even imagined. Will Harishchandra's pure love and Firdous's rational sacrifice lead them to the true union of souls? Stay with me in Manav Parichay. You will hear Episode 4, Old Fears, New Perspective. These days, Harishchandra has started thinking that Firdous is making big sacrifices to uphold this marriage from a different community. Whereas the reason for Firdous's outwardly changed behavior is something else entirely. Firdous did not show any impatience in revealing this secret to her husband, Harishchandra. She thinks that Harishchandra ji too must have some sacred goals behind this marriage, besides the happiness it provides. When does he share these thoughts with Firdous? It has only been a few days since the marriage. It is unnecessarily hasty for Harishchandra ji to know Firdous completely right now. Firdous thinks that a lifetime passes by. Even then, often some secrets, some thoughts, or sacrifices made for mutual pleasant companionship remain unknown to the husband and wife. Hiding something from each other is not necessarily out of a bad feeling. Sometimes, displaying a good deed reduces its goodness. Thinking this, one's own good deeds are hidden from one's loved ones. There is more joy in hiding things this way. Firdous also knows the fact that the husband and wife, with some time spent together, gain the understanding to experience the other's unspoken, bad, good deeds mutually. Firdous's life has started in her new companionship, her new home. Then one day in court, none of Firdous's cases were listed for hearing. That day she preferred the idea of resting at home instead of going to court. The daughter came back from school by noon. Both had lunch as well. The daughter, after happily playing with her mother, Firdous, fell asleep out of exhaustion. Lying on the bed beside her daughter, Firdous became lost in the remembrance of the past few days' events. She felt that very big changes had come into her life in just a few months. Now her husband, her in-laws' home, her food habits, her attire, everything has changed. Moreover, even her religious faith seems to be changing. She started thinking that perhaps these changes would not have been so easy if Nasir had not uttered the triple talaq and dropped her off the bike in that secluded place that day. Firdous started remembering that incident as if it were happening to her right now. That place, after Nasir left, seems extremely frightening to Firdous. Scared, she has hidden behind a tree and is sitting there. While hiding, she is constantly looking at the road, hoping that some woman might appear passing by so she can safely leave that desolate place with her. Since it is a rural road, only an occasional passerby or vehicle is visible. All of them are men. Unfortunately, no woman was seen with them that day. In this agonizing wait of almost 2 hours, her negative thoughts made her extremely afraid. Never before had she felt so afraid of being a girl, woman. With negative thoughts dominating her mind, deep despair overshadowed her. Being divorced by Nasir, her future seems dark to her. Due to this, every moment passing in that desolate place feels as long as ages. In the excessiveness of fear, a terrifying thought came to her that no angel in human form would be able to find her here. Then night would fall. Then, hearing her coughing or sneezing sound in the darkness, some men would find her from behind the tree. They would all gang rape her many times. Then, just before the morning light, they would wring her neck and kill her. This thought made her shudder and her throat went dry, but she didn't even have water to drink. Then it occurred to her that her future being dark is the less difficult thing. More painful to her is the feeling that she has no future left at all. The increase of despair to this extent then infused surprising courage in her. She thought, it is better to start walking from here than to stay hidden and be killed behind this tree at night. Maybe she would get out safely, or some servant of God or an angel would appear to help her. Then Firdaus straightened her burqa and came out onto the road. Being disappointed and thirsty, she is unable to walk. Dusk has started to set in. In such a situation, she begins to hear the gradually approaching sound of a car from behind her. Firdaus, gathering all her courage, raised her hand to stop it, which made the car stop. She got a lift. It took her a few minutes to experience the gentlemanly nature of the middle-aged person in the car. Sitting in the car, she realized that the old Firdaus had died behind that tree. This Firdaus is now the newly born Firdaus. In the car itself, she decided that this new Firdaus will now view the world with a new perspective. All the previous notions that had resided in her mind, she will throw them out of her mind. She will keep her mind and intellect open and welcome those changes in herself which seem rational to her. Today, the age of this new thinking of the new Firdaus is now 6 months. In this time, she has ensured punishment for her suspicious and orthodox ex-husband Nasir for his unlawful act, triple talaq. Then she rejected Nasir's compromise proposal and herself took a legally valid divorce from him. Subsequently, remembering the gentlemanliness of the person in the car, she accepted Judge Harishchand's marriage proposal. She started recalling that Harishchandji gave her a burqa as a gift on the very first night. Whereas the old Firdaus was sitting behind that tree that day wearing a burqa. Being veiled could not reduce her fear then. In reality, a young woman does not become fearless just because she is veiled or not veiled. Wearing the burqa that day clearly identified her as belonging to another community, due to which the person in the car could have been more eager to assault her. Firdaus, being an advocate herself, knows this sad fact very well that a woman from another community is more often the victim of communal hatred. Therefore, the new Firdaus renounced the burqa on the argument that all women, with or without a veil, remain equally safe or unsafe. Then why should she carry the burden of the veil's compulsion, which is not mandatory for her in her new home? Initially, Firdaus did desire non-vegetarian food in her new home, but after hearing the cook proudly state that, नहीं मैडम जी, हम मांसाहार ना तो खाते हैं ना ही बनाते हैं, हम ब्राह्मण हैं, no मैडम जी, we neither eat non-vegetarian food nor cook it, we are Brahmins. The new Firdaus decided to experience what the pride in vegetarianism was. Then, despite Harishchandji wanting it, she firmly refused to allow non-vegetarian food to be cooked at home. Thinking all this, Firdaus herself is now laughing. She felt pity for Harishchandji, who believes Firdaus is making sacrifices. That is actually the new Firdaus's resolve to accept rational goodness. Then Firdaus fell asleep. The next day the cook took a day off. Coincidentally, that day is also a Sunday holiday.
Harishchandji told Firdaus, "You make the tea and breakfast, I will make lunch today."
Firdaus laughed and said, "Gee, the food made by your hands must be in the destiny of only a few select people. I am fortunate to get the pleasure of consuming the food made by you." By noon, Harishchandji had arranged the food made with his own hands on the dining table. Then he, his daughter, and Firdaus began to eat together. Harishchand made puri chole and semolina pudding, atta halwa. Along with that, fruit and vegetable salad were placed on the table with beautiful decoration. When Firdaus ate all this, her surprise knew no bounds. She said, savoring the taste, "I couldn't have imagined a few days ago that pure vegetarian food could be so delicious. And the big thing is that it doesn't even have onion or garlic. Believe me, before today, food was never so palatable to me, as palatable as it is today, right now."
Harishchandra, jesting, said, "No other food could be so good to you, because no one else's cooking can mix my kind of love for you into the food."
Firdaus burst into laughter. Seeing her mama laughing, the daughter also started laughing with her. Then Firdaus only stopped after waiting. Finally, she said, "Enough. Now please never cook food again. Otherwise, I will get fat.
Harish Chandra is not a less adept person at replying. He immediately said, then I will have to cook food repeatedly.
Firdaus asked with the eagerness to know the reason. Ji, why is that?
Harish Chandra ji, mimicking Firdaus, said, Ji, because I find my wife getting fat very pleasant.
Thus, the days of Firdaus, who had lost hope for life one day, are now passing with such laughter and joy. Her life is now passing with so much happiness, which is rare for any woman. Now listen to the review, critique, and guidance written by Gemini on this episode of Manav Parichay. This episode focuses on Firdaus's psychological evolution. The story moves away from external conflicts to depict the internal battle between past trauma and present acceptance. 1. Liberation from trauma, the birth of new Firdaus. Firdaus's flashback to the past is the most powerful part of this episode. Firdaus, hiding behind a tree on the desolate road after the triple talaq, is declared dead not only physically but also mentally. Depicting that fear, despair, and the imagination of a dark future, fear of gang assault, with such clarity, exposes the psychological impact of patriarchal violence. The moment courage is infused and the gentlemanliness in the car is experienced, Firdaus declaring herself as the newborn Firdaus is not just a statement, it is a firm resolve to redefine life based on self-preservation and rationality. 2. Not sacrifice, but rational resolve. Harish Chandra thinks Firdaus is making sacrifices, while Firdaus argues that she is merely accepting rational goodness. Renouncing the burqa, Firdaus did not renounce the burqa because Harish Chandra asked her to, but because she realized that the veil does not provide freedom from fear. Rather, due to communal hatred, it could expose her identity. Her argument is, when the compulsion of the veil is not present, why carry the burden of an irrational necessity? Renouncing non-vegetarian food. This sacrifice is also not based on love or pressure, but on the logic of morality and the daughter's upbringing. At the same time, seeing the pride of the cook in his Brahmanhood, Firdaus decides to understand the moral height of that vegetarian pride. These decisions of Firdaus indicate that she is no longer guided by superstition or emotion, but by prudence and logic. This is the essence of her new perspective. 3. The culinary art of love. The end of the episode is light-hearted and extremely sweet. Harish Chandra making pure vegetarian food without onion or garlic and Firdaus enjoying it excessively, is a symbol of the complete merging of their cultural differences. Harish Chandra's statement that, no one else's cooking can mix my kind of love for you into the food, establishes their marital bond at a level of simple, sincere love. Conclusion. Firdaus's life has now moved out of the fear of the desolate road and entered an enjoyable life of taste and laughter. This episode suggests that the introduction to humanity is found not only in morality, but also in a conscientious lifestyle and selfless love. Episode 4 ends.